A question for you. Are you satisfied with your life? Do you feel like you're in a rut? Do you feel like you're wasting your life? Look, I'll be honest. I have felt this way many times before. And I have learned after going through these difficult times that just like there are seasons in the year, there are seasons to life. So this time is not something you need to dread. In fact, it might actually be your greatest advantage. My goal for this video is to share with you my experiences and to let you know about my system that gets me out of the rut every single time and gets me enjoying life again. I have learned this lesson many times. The first was during my second year of university. Everything was going quite well. I was studying, getting good grades and working part-time to earn a living. But I also felt extremely dissatisfied. I felt stuck, like I wasn't going anywhere. The second was 2 years later. I was applying for an engineering internship and was getting rejected left, right and center. All the rejection honestly threw me into a mini depression. I thought that I had made all these sacrifices and I put all this effort in, and for what? Was it really all for nothing? The third was when I graduated from university and I was working part-time at a power plant. Even though I completed a massive goal, which was my degree, something I've been working towards for the better part of a decade, I felt that hideous dread again. The fact that I was dissatisfied and unsure about what next steps I needed to take. Again, I was lost. The fourth was 18 months later. This sense of dissatisfaction I'm telling you about showed its ugly side again. What I was doing just wasn't enough anymore. I wanted more. I felt dissatisfied, stuck, and also extremely bored. The fifth was at the beginning of the year. I'm now working the job I've always wanted when I was at uni. I'm in a brand new city, and yet I felt stuck, dissatisfied, like I'm wasting my life. And the sixth time, well, we just went through that now. All these experiences had one thing in common. They were triggered by the conclusion of one season of life and the commencement of another season. There are two seasons, a season of doing and a season of being. Each of these ruts had extreme dissatisfaction after a season of doing. 80% of my happiness comes from my goals, working towards my goals and making progress in them. You know that feeling when you're completely focused on a goal. Your entire attention narrows down to that goal. You chose it. It's meaningful to you. There's a challenge. You're in flow. But that season must come to an end. A core tenet of Buddhism is impermanence. Everything changes. Nothing can stay the way it is. The season that commences in doing's wake is the season of being. It's a season where I achieve nothing. No progress is being made. It's the source of my dissatisfaction, my pain, and my suffering. Josh, what causes a season of doing to end, you might ask? Well, in my experience, it comes down to one thing. You have experienced a disconnection to meaning. There's a fair bit to unpack here, so let's break it down a little bit more. In her book, Grit, Angela Duckworth says that you need two things to achieve your goals: passion and perseverance. Passion is how you know your goals are your goals in the first place. It gives you direction, something you can walk towards over the long term. I lacked passion the first time I was stuck in the rut. I was working and studying, but why? What purpose did this serve beyond just getting a job? Why am I walking towards this thing? I lacked passion when I graduated from university too. I just completed a massive goal, something I dedicated myself to for the better part of 10 years. And now it's done? What do I do from here? What direction do I walk? Where's my new goal? Where's the mountain that I'm climbing? Think of the depression celebrities have after their 5 seconds of fame is up, or the rut an Olympian feels after they win their gold medal, or maybe the blues you feel after you have an amazing holiday. Lows often come after highs, and highs often come after lows. These are the seasons of life. A lack of perseverance can also cause a disconnection to meaning. Perseverance is all about putting one foot in front of the other. Whatever mountain you're climbing, you continue moving towards that peak no matter what. Think about where you derive meaning from in your life. For me, it's from the projects that I'm working on, becoming a stronger, more developed person, making content for you guys, and inventing a product at my job. If I'm not making progress in these 3 projects, then what am I doing? I'm doing nothing. It feels like I'm doing nothing. It's really difficult to maintain climbing a mountain when you receive so little feedback that you're doing the right thing. You're completely unaware that you'll ever reach the top or get through the other side. I've been posting on this channel for about 3 years, and I'm not even at 1,000 subscribers. And a good video, gets about 200 views? At what point do you say, I'm not going to do this anymore? At what point do you disconnect from the goal and give up? I'm not sharing this because I want some sympathy. I'm sharing this because I want to be real with you. There's something that you're working on right now in your life where you're not getting the results that you want. You feel disconnected from your goal. You're not able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is fear-driven. You're not actually asking yourself, is this worth it? You're asking yourself, can I do this? And it's this crippling self-doubt that's going to stop you from even starting. And if you do start, then you probably will give up. I believe that pain and suffering is a part of the human condition. You will not be able to delude yourself that you can achieve your goals without it being hard. You need perseverance. But without passion, perseverance becomes impossible. People always say that you need to find your passion. And I think this is shitty advice because it only makes you feel worse about yourself. You don't find your passions, you create them. Your passions in life come after doing something for long enough that you become good at it. You see some progress. Dopamine fires rewarding you for your efforts. And then you become even more committed to the passion. I wasn't passionate about working out the first time I stepped into a gym. I became passionate about the gym after months of dedicated training. Then I became obsessed. I watched YouTube videos after YouTube videos about training and nutrition. I wanted to learn everything there was to learn about lifting weights and bodybuilding. Now the gym is a staple in my life. It's a part of who I am. But you should also remember that this passion came after experimenting with other exercises like running and calisthenics. Neither of them stuck. Here's another example. I always thought I hated writing at school. But after writing dozens of YouTube video scripts, I realized that it's not writing that I hated. I just hated writing about things I didn't find important. And now I've created a passion for writing about life and self-improvement. And I really want to achieve mastery of it. If I didn't go on an internship in Fiji during my second year of university, if I didn't work as an operations engineer at a power plant, if I didn't move cities and work this job, I would not have created my passion for inventing products. You need to experiment and create your own passions. Look for projects in your life that satisfies these 4 criteria. It needs to be enjoyable. It needs to be meaningful. It needs to be challenging. And you need to be in control of the outcome. The rut and dissatisfaction has always given me the motivation to change what I'm doing, to experiment with what I'm doing, to create new passions and rekindle old ones. When I'm in the rut feeling extremely dissatisfied, I ask myself, what is the most pressing problem I have right now? Then I experiment until I create a new passion and a season of doing. And then I launch myself into a season of intensity. For example, the rut I just went through was due to the lack of progress I've been making in my projects. But once I started to realize this mental turmoil, I asked myself, what is the most pressing problem I'm facing right now? And what things can I experiment with to help find a solution? In terms of YouTube, I've been experimenting with different video styles, writing about different topics, and also trying out different writing frameworks. I have looked at my life and decided to launch myself into a project I've been putting off for quite a long time. That means I'm experimenting with how I structure my days, where I go and when. Now I plan to make a video about this sometime in the future, so I won't reveal too much here. My point is, experimentation is not the solution. It's how you find the solution. Let me explain another way. There's nothing more anxiety inducing than being in a dark forest and hearing a noise off in the distance. You don't know what it is, where it came from, or where you should go. You feel dissatisfied and sad because you don't know what your options are. You don't know what direction you should take. All you know is that you don't want to be here. Finding the solution becomes a goal. Now you have direction, you have more options. There's a sense of progress. Eventually you create a project. It becomes a passion, you work on it, you improve. The dissatisfaction you once felt is gone. You start enjoying life again. You're out of the rut. Then passion or perseverance may fade and it's time to do it all over again. What's my most pressing problem right now? Experiment until you get the right solution for you, for your own unique situation. Look, I'll be honest. If it was as easy as I made it out here, then you probably wouldn't have to watch a YouTube video about it. What's stopping you more than anything else is yourself, your mind. Next week, we're going to dive a little bit more deeper and discuss how you can become the main character of your life. So either click it here if you're watching this in the future. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.